Now imagine you online and you see your friend post some incorrect information about himself, about his lifestyle, or just the overall direction of his life. And you comment on his post, hey bro, I don't think that's correct, blase blam. And instead of him reflecting and understand where you are coming from, he double downs on it and he says that you are wrong. If you ever experienced this online, this is the backfire effect. And this is one of 6 reasons why independent thinkers should not be trying to build community online, because these people is crazy as hell. Another reason that you do not want to share information online is cognitive dissonance. This is when people obviously have 2 different beliefs. He's a straight guy, but he's on the down low. So you tell him that's not cool. Either pick a side, choose a struggle. But instead, he looks at you like you're the problem for pointing out his hypocrisy. Online, in life, people are hypocrites. And it's really nothing that you could do about it just because you're an independent thinker. It's easy to point out somebody's hypocrisy, much harder to take care of your own shit. So if you're an independent thinker and you see hypocritical people online, recognize the cognitive dissonance, but also recognize that you can't do shit about it. Another reason independent thinkers should never be talking to people online is because of groupthink. Now, here's a situation where people form and force a consensus, even when the idea is completely wrong and the ship is sinking underwater. Groupthink is a psychological phenomenon that it forces people who are in a group to make bad decisions. And this obviously leads to poor decisions. So if you are an independent thinker and you can see a group of people making a bad decision, you are not going to be the one to change the course of how they're thinking. Because like I said, groupthink is a psychological phenomenon. And if you are in a group, there are ideas within this group that if you are going to trigger anything outside of how this group thinks, they're going to look at you as the bad guy. And this is called identity protection cognition. Cancel culture and online algorithms is the reason why a lot of people just simply want to follow this status quo. And it makes sense. If you want views, if you want money, if you want success online, basically just go along and just get along to, however you say that shit. Just get along to go along. If there is a predominant thought, then we're also dealing with an echo chamber where these people is constantly saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. And if you are an independent thinker, you might just want to play devil's advocate, snazzy it up a little bit, but they not trying to hear that within these online groups. So it's better to just stay within yourself, understand life from an internal perspective. And if you are able to meet one person that understands your ideology, then I would consider you in a great space. And so finally, referencing the status quo, if you're an independent thinker, the last thing you're thinking about right now is the status quo. You're trying to transcend, go above and beyond, and just understand your limits and your boundaries, because they could be wide. If you are on a linear, small, unprogressive status quo basis, and ultimately thinking about things from the perspective of what my mama gonna think, what the government gonna think, what is my family going to think, then obviously if you are saying the truth to somebody, it could be more hurtful to you because they're not able to process it and understand where you're coming from as an independent thinker. So there is a price to thinking for yourself, which is probably going to be more solitude. You're not going to have a large group of people, because within those dynamics, the consciousness and the psychology is very dangerous and it's very toxic. So anybody that has an open mind that thinks for themselves, they can't exist within groups. So that could also be a conundrum within a person and something that they got to reconcile and justify. So hopefully this video helped the independent thinkers that have a hard time with understanding internet dynamics and politics. And it's good to know this so you don't feel bitter about dealing with people online. But this is Hood with another Occult Metaphysics 101. Peace.